All right, let me slowly stop the music and jump right in the game. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything is online. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me make sure my YouTube is on point. Yep, okay, I do see it. I am live on YouTube. Let me go in there and mute it. Mute that shit. Let's make sure Trovo. Make sure I'm in that Trovo thing looking good. Yep, I'm in that Trovo thing. All right, let me check Twitch. Make sure I'm in that Twitch section. Make sure I'm in the Twitch section and not in the bitch section. Okay. Let's go. So we got everything. Boom. Let's make sure Facebook is popping. Let's check Facebook. And okay, we in the game. Welcome back to the show. This is J Damage back again with another video. And welcome back to the show that never ends with me designing random ass things and y'all coming through and checking it out and learning a little bit of something. So I appreciate everybody that's coming in and checking out these videos. I want to make sure I acknowledge you and I show you some love. Even though we have a very small audience, I still trust you. I still trust the process. I am slowly starting to see things growing. I'm getting to a point where almost every video that we're touching is hitting at least 100 views throughout all these platforms. So that's good. The slow progress is better than no progress. And like I always said from the jump when I first started this is not about reaching out millions of people and no shit like that. It's all about just reaching out those important people. And when they follow these steps, those people could gain power from these steps that I'm showing you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open Illustrator and we're going to go through. As you can see in the title, today we will be doing outline art, but I'll be doing some outline art and I'll be doing some basic coloring. Just so you can, have that little experience in there too. So as you can see, like if you look at this drawing of what I did, of course, if you remember this cartoon, this is Arthur. I don't know why I keep wanting to say, hey, Arthur. This shit is just Arthur. I'm so used to Arnold. I keep wanting to say, hey, Arnold. So I keep thinking it's fucking, hey, Arthur. But it's just Arthur. And as you can see, I just made some random shit. So as you can see, I just sketched out. I looked at some reference images of Arthur. I believe the rabbit's name is Baxter. And the fucking bully name Binky Barnes. Hold up, I hear something loud driving past me. Hold on. What the fuck is that noise? Somebody in some loud ass truck is driving past. But look, okay. Let me stop the music because that's starting to fucking distract me. I don't like that shit. Alright, calm down. Yo, shout out to the people already coming in, pressing like. Shout out to Dar John. People already coming in. Let me make sure nobody is saying anything on these other sites. I see viewers on all of them, but I don't look. If you're saying something, that's my apologies. I'm not trying to ignore you. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started. So what we'll be doing is working on these three characters. Like I said previously, this is Arthur, Baxter, and Binky Barnes. If you remember this cartoon, this was an educational show. But today I came to corrupt these people. I came to corrupt these characters. So basically, as you can see, I put some bandanas and ski masks on these niggas. I'm corrupting them. So like what we're gonna do is we're not using the graphics tablet. What we're going to be using is the two main tools that we always use in these videos. I only do this method because everybody cannot afford the graphics tablets and, all the all the special stuff, all the custom brushes, graphics tablets. This is for somebody to learn when you just get the program. This is for beginners. This is not for people who already kind of have an understanding. This is for a beginner. If you're new at this program and you see this, I feel like you would benefit the most, not somebody who already got a little bit of experience or whatever. Trust me, I will be doing those tutorials eventually, but I'm really just trying to do the basic things for the people who watch, because if I show the advanced stuff too quick, it's going to confuse people. You're not going to know what the hell is going on or how to keep up. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and get started. Remember, if you watch these previous videos, the two tools that we'll be using for the line work will be the pen tool and the curvature tool. If you see on the left side toolbar, those are the pen tool is right here. Let me click on it. And the curvature tool is right next to it. Boom. If you hover your mouse over it, you'll be able to see the name. You guys won't be able to see that if you're watching on Facebook and I believe Twitch. You won't be able to see what the menu says. But if you're following on the program, if you hover your mouse over it, you'll be able to see that it says pen tool and curvature tool. So remember, the pen tool is for the straight lines and the pointy lines. I'll show you an example. If I zoom in, see how I could just make a box? Anything that's pointy, I could create that with the pen tool. Now with the curvature tool, anything curvy. So as you can see, when I click around, it gives me that circle. So anything curvature, you want to be getting from the curve tool, and anything pointy, you will be getting from the pen tool. So that's how that works. So let's go ahead and delete all that. So what you want to do is go ahead and identify your project before you get started. Look around your project and see which parts you want to start from. Now, if you look at most cartoon designs, everything is curvy lines. Some cartoons, of course, have, a lot more spiked lines and straight lines. But see, on most characters, it's a lot of curvy lines, especially the old school characters. A lot of the cartoonists back in the day, they would create characters in this type of manner. So before we get started, let me make sure nobody has said anything. Make sure I'm not ignoring anybody. Okay. Nobody's being ignored. So let's go. Let's go ahead and get started on his face. What we're going to do is just come around with that curvature tool. Matter of fact, let me take the opacity down on that layer. So to take the opacity down on this layer, what you want to do is click on the layer that the your original drawing is on. So my sketch is on layer 1. Just double click on that layer. Once you double click on that layer, a menu will pop up that says layer options. And if you look down on the right hand corner of that menu, it says dim images 2. So what you want to do is double click inside of that menu and take it down to wherever you feel comfortable. I'm taking mine down to 30. Now, if you notice, once I do that, it makes the picture more transparent and easier to work on top of anytime you're tracing a sketch that you previously created. So like what I'm going to do is just continue. All I'm doing is using that curvature tool, getting all of those curved lines. Now, what I want you to do is before you actually get into working on your own projects or even working on projects for a customer, what I want you to do is just start tracing over pictures that that you're familiar with. Just start tracing over things and getting yourself used to this pen tool and this curvature tool. Once you get yourself used to these programs, it's a lot easier to deal with. A lot of times when people first use this, Illustrator or Photoshop, they have a hard time with this pen tool and this curvature tool. But understand, it's really all a practice thing. Once you get yourself used to it, it won't be hard. It's all about creating those shapes and then manipulating them, making them look however you want them to look. Remember, if you mess up at any point in time during this process, remember, Command Z. That's how you undo. As you see right now, all we're doing is making adjustments, making sure we get everything right. This ear looks big as fuck to me, so I might take that down. Mind you, I was sketching quickly too, so this may look kind of goofy, but we'll work with it. If you notice, what I'm doing is I'm overshooting my lines. The reason why I overshoot my lines in this type of manner is because a lot of times when you overlap your lines, it helps you to stay within keeping all of those lines clean once you get into the next step. Now understand, you do not have to do that if you do not want to, but I always recommend it to beginners because this is going to keep you within the space of having those extremely straight lines that you see most designers use or create with. A lot of times that's really one of the biggest issues that people have with Illustrator is when they create projects, especially with the graphics tablet, they can never get those very clean straight lines. And I'm gonna just tell y'all real quick, just in case you may be watching me and you got a graphics tablet, what I want you to understand, if you are using a graphics tablet, all you have to do is when you're using your paintbrush tool, in order to make your lines very straight, what I want you to do is double click that paintbrush tool. Once you double click it, there's a menu that pops up that says paintbrush tool options. If you following my method, don't even pay attention to what I'm saying right now. But if you are working on a graphics tablet, all you have to do is double click your paintbrush tool and you will see accurate to smooth. What you want to do is take that meter up all the way up, either to smooth to get those straight lines whenever you swipe, or take it to accurate, because if you take it to accurate, that's going to feel more accurate. So when you start drawing, you're going to see the squiggles in your lines that you naturally create. So yeah, that's just some advice for my people who plan on designing with the graphics tablet. Now I see somebody just said something. Give me 1 second to answer. They said, got you hosted and tabbed making and then jumping on with gang going to cold stream. Oh yeah, shout out to my guy Cookies. What you want to do is if you're on Trovo, make sure you go follow Hang Too Low. And I'm going to make sure I do whatever I got to do to show him some love. As of right now, in the middle of the stream, once I get some time, I'm going to jump in there. Make sure I show my boy some love, for real, for real. I appreciate everybody jumping in on this stream, coming from Trovo, coming from Twitch, coming from YouTube, and coming from Facebook. And TikTok, we will be back on there tomorrow. Of course, they kicked me out for no apparent reason. So, we're going to see how tomorrow goes. We'll see if they accept me back into their lives. Okay, let's continue. Basically, what we're doing right now is all of the line work. So let's continue. Now, what you want to do is if you get into this position where you're creating eyes or anything, and what you want to do is duplicate this. So what you want to do is select this entire area that you want to duplicate, Command C, then Command F. What you just did, you just pasted right in front of what you just created. So all you have to do is just drag that over. And hold shift when you drag it over to drag it over in a straight line. Boom. Let me move his eye right there. Boom. So let's continue on these lines. I'm trying to think of where I'm at. Okay, cool. Sometimes I'll be making these sketches, I'll be making these sketches and losing track of what the hell I'm doing. Or lose track of what the hell I was creating. That's the thing about sketches, is like, you know, when you make these sketches, you lose track of what the fuck you doing. Like, what was I thinking when I was sketching this? Like, what was my intention, or what was my idea? Why was I making it look like that? Or, you know, if you are creating sketches, just do whatever you feel like looks good. You know what I'm saying? Don't follow no rules, none of that type of shit. Do whatever you feel like looks good. Let's see. Yo, shout out Cookies, showing love on Facebook. My nigga Cookies jumping on on every platform. Shout out to him. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm accidentally hitting other buttons. Remember, if you accidentally hit another button on Illustrator, you don't know where you're at. You accidentally hit something, always remember, Command Z is how you undo. The reason why I always say that, Command Z, is only because I'm telling you, you want to get used to these commands. If you do not get used to these commands, trust me, you can end up in a situation, man. And I'm not making this shit up. I'm not trying to make nobody look stupid, but I'm just letting you know right now, if you mess up and you're working for somebody, you're working for a company, you're working for a very important customer, you do not want to be making these mistakes, especially in front of people. You want to be making sure you're working and you're on point when you're working. Let me hop on Trovo right quick. Yo, shout out to Cookies. Man, Cookies donated a lot. God damn. Once I fully figure out that system, I'm gonna make sure I acknowledge people properly on Trovo. Yeah, I'm very new to Trovo. I don't fully have a perfect understanding, but I do have a small understanding. Shout out to my guy Cookies. If you look at his page, like I said again, follow him at Hang Too Low. That's Hang the number 2 LOW. Let's continue. Let's work on Arthur. I remember there was a fucking there was a meme going around about Arthur being mad and shit. That's kind of where I got this idea. Like, let me make him doing something like ridiculous. I don't know what it is about Arthur. I think Arthur was such a nice guy that we never really seen him mad on the cartoon. So I just feel like it's weird that I feel like us people fantasize about him being like a angry ass person or some fucking low key maniac or some shit. It's weird. Let's go ahead and take that down. Boom. As you can see, all I'm doing is just using the pen tool, curvature tool. I'm not doing no tricks, nothing too crazy. I'm really just staying in my lane doing this. Now understand, this same method can be done with the graphics tablet. And actually it's faster when you do it with the graphics tablet. When you do this same method and you do it with the pen tablet, graphics tablet or whatever, like you're basically doing this exact same thing. You're just doing it, by hand, and it's much faster. That's why most of the time people, like for years, people have never seen me actually do my line work. It's only because I do most of my line work on my iPad. I don't actually even do line work in this type of way anymore. But I know that everybody can't afford no fucking iPad Pro and all that type of shit. So I feel like this is a good method to teach people that just want to hop right in the program and get the designing. Let's copy and paste that just to get that same vibe. And what you want to do is, if you want to flip this upside down, right click it, go to transform, click on reflect, and then instead of vertical, click on horizontal. Boom. Once you click on horizontal, to flip it like that. Instead of flipping it left to right, it's flipping it up to down. So I'm gonna move that right there, and then create the knot right there. Boom. So boom, I believe Arthur is done. Okay, Arthur is done. Let's work on the homie Baxter. Let me make sure nothing has popped up. No questions, no nothing. Make sure everybody is silently watching. Make sure all y'all silently watching me like some serial killers. Okay, cool. Everybody's silently watching. All right, bet. Let's go. I've been liking the silence when I'm working or whatever. I like the silence when people are watching. But I guarantee you tomorrow, when TikTok comes back, it's gonna be loud in here, man. So I'm enjoying it for now until things get back crazy. Let's go ahead and get that together. Boom. Boom. Hold up, my fucking laptop keeps jiggling. If you're hearing that noise, it's my apologies, y'all. As you can see, I'm using that pen tool and the curvature tool. Most of those lines are all getting hit with that curvature tool. Yo, shout out to all of my people on YouTube that's been showing love. I've gotten a couple of messages in my email of people like, thanking me like, damn, I finally learned how to get those outlines straight. And I did a YouTube short about a lot of the tutorials disappearing, which that's a real thing. And a lot of people don't know about that. Most of these tutorials that I be teaching y'all, these methods are gone. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure there's a couple still there. Like, there's a couple channels that, like, survived the storm. But a lot of those channels is gone, y'all. I'm not making that shit up. I'm telling you. A lot of people who know design or who know how to do a lot of this shit that I do, they know what I'm talking about. A lot of those tutorials are gone. I remember there used to be this thing a couple years ago. People used to always say, you don't even got to go to college. You don't even got to go to college. You could just get on YouTube and learn everything on YouTube. Yo, I'm telling you, man, like YouTube, it's like they've been cracking down on that. Like, oh, no, y'all, or, it may be the college is cracking down. We can get conspiracy a little bit. It may be the college is cracking down on YouTube. Because I just find it so weird that we had all those tutorials floating all over YouTube. Now, all of a sudden, all those tutorials are gone. And most of the main dudes that was making tutorials, they're now on Skillshare. I'm like, oh, snap. It's like somebody pressed a button and put a stop to this. It was too much people gaining too much knowledge too quickly. And they didn't want to go to college for graphic design anymore. Because I'm telling you, if I teach you this, you're not going to want to go to college for graphic design. Because what I can show you, I can literally show you everything that they teach you in college. The only thing that I feel like you can miss out from like a YouTube channel or anything is like things that shit is like unnecessary though. But like a lot of times in college, they try to teach you the history of graphic design, which I feel like is relevant to certain things. But a lot of times, man, you don't really even need that. Let's keep it real. Like, you don't even need that type of information a lot of times when it comes down to doing graphic design. You really don't even really, like, that was the thing I always kind of felt like it was a scam about the whole graphic design college thing. I feel like you really learn a bunch of stuff you don't even use in the field. And then, graphic design is a very discriminatory field. That's one thing that they don't tell you about, is once you actually start getting into these offices and, understand that if you are a person of color, your skills have to just be undeniably good. Otherwise, people will judge you. This is a very judgmental field. Very judgmental field. They may say that it's not, but do not be fooled. This is a very judgmental field. And a lot of these job sites, they want a certain type of individual. And if you go in there, acting like an ignorant person, of course, they ain't hiring you. It's not as diverse as people would think. So, believe it or not, there isn't a lot of people of color into graphic design. It's only because I think a lot of us, we think it's harder than what it is. Which, I used to feel like that. I used to do this and I used to think like, yo, that graphic design shit, that shit look hard as hell, nigga. I ain't doing that. But then, like, once I started doing it, I was like, yo, this is easy as hell. But, like, I feel like people who do this, they make it sound like it's harder than what it is because they don't want a lot of people trying to be in this field. Like, it's crazy. But I'll tell y'all a quick story while we got time. And there's not a lot of viewers, so the people who watch this video afterwards, y'all will be able to see what I'm talking about. So a long time ago, I was, this is like I'd say I probably was like 3 years in. This is probably like 2016-ish, I want to say. And basically, I had like this situation where I was trying to like basically get like a legit gig for graphic design. At this time, this is when Fiverr was like really popping off, which Fiverr is still a thing, but I'm talking about like at this time, graphic designers, like Fiverr was popping and like a lot of people was like trying to get like clientele, like a lot of the people on Fiverr. So a lot of people was trying to get to these companies because a lot of these companies, they was working through Fiverr behind closed doors. And so a lot of people was trying to get to these companies. So I figured out one of the companies on the low. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm about to try to apply at this because I'm literally everything that this company would need. So because I'm an all around designer, I can do almost every type of design. So when I contacted this company, basically I sent them my portfolio. I didn't send them the ignorant one, if that's what you're thinking. I didn't send them, all of the the ignorant shit that I make for these customers or whatever, like a lot of the urban design and shit like that. Sent them a legit profile of just a lot of my more corporate things, because I was assuming that was the type of work they were looking for, because a lot of times with these companies they're looking for corporate design, right? So I was like, okay, cool. So I sent them my portfolio, got everything extremely organized. I can say this probably was the cleanest organized portfolio I ever sent out. Sent out everything, and once I sent out everything, I'm talking about, they was like hats off to me. Like, they showed me so much love and respect. They was like, oh my god, like, yo, your work is amazing. Like, how do you even know how to do all these different things? You gotta use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, because a lot of people don't know. Not only am I good at graphic design, I also went to school for office administration. So I actually have, why am this towel right here? I actually have certifications in Microsoft Office Word. I'm actually a Microsoft Office specialist. Bet you didn't even know that. I'm a Microsoft Office specialist. So I was like showing my credentials with that. I got advanced leadership training, all of that. You wouldn't even know that if I never even told you. You wouldn't even know that I had all these credentials. So literally, and I mind you, the job that they were offering, it basically was just a graphic design job where they just needed just a worker. They didn't need like a leadership position or anything crazy, but they were paying a lot. And so long story short, they looked at the whole my portfolio and everything, and they was like, yo, this is amazing, whatever, you know how to do all of this. And then they were like, okay, we want to do a Zoom call just before we get everything started. And once we do our Zoom call, then we can move forward into preparing your accommodations, because they actually wanted me to come move out there in Cali. So I was like, okay, cool. So it took like a few days. I want to say like 3 days. And they put me in a Zoom call. I want to say this was the first time I ever had like a legit Zoom call with like a legit company. So they contacted me. It was like a couple dudes all on the phone or whatever. And like, as they were talking to me like in a whole like different manner and like different tone once they actually seen me. It's only because I think that they didn't think I was black. Like, just from like talking to them, and just from, oh shit, I moved this over on accident. So just from talking to them and just having our conversations, I sometimes think that if a person was to hear my voice, it's only because like I have a very proper professional sounding voice, which is weird, like because I'm not trying to talk like nothing outside of my culture or anything. I don't feel like I talk like like what people may perceive as a white person or anything like that. I just have a very professional sounding voice. So like what I'm guessing, I'm just guessing. I don't want to claim nothing on this company, but I honestly don't think they knew that I was black just from talking to me. And so once they got on the phone, I can tell like the tone changed of the whole like conversation. Like they still was like basically giving me my props on everything, but I could tell the energy was different because they kept hitting me with these weird like if you black, you know what I'm talking about. If you're black or Hispanic, you know what I'm talking about. Like when people talk to like a black person or like a Hispanic person, like a Dominican or a Mexican or just a person of another culture, they talk to you in a certain type of way as if they're trying to relate to you. So I'm a black person, so they're trying to talk to me with this brother shit. yo dog, yeah. It's like, yo, man, we're just really feeling your work, man. I'm just like, yo, like, what is this coming from? It was just very awkward and weird. And I'm just like, why is, I didn't even call it out. Like, yo, why you talking to me like that? I didn't get ignorant or anything. I just, even though it felt weird, I just was like, why does this dude keep, cause he just kept brothering me. Yeah, brother. Something. I'm just like, I'm just ignoring it. Cause at the end of the day, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm just trying to get this job. I don't give a damn about all of this brother shit. Yo, like, let's just get this set up. So they talked to me. Everything sounded like it was cool. He said, "Yo, we're gonna hit you back in 3 days." They sent me all these emails of all this stuff that I need to know, and I hung up with him. So 3 days later, they sent me a message. They sent me a message, and basically they sent me a message, and in the message they was talking to me on that old brother shit again. So in the message they hit me up like, "Listen, we appreciate your interest, but we found somebody else for the position, whatever. And just keep working hard, brother, and you'll find what you're looking for, and this and this and that." Now, me personally, I'm not really tripping about not catching a job because actually, I'm pretty sure I probably made way more money than they could offer me. But I just didn't like the way that I was treated. And I already know I was treated a certain type of way because when it comes to graphic design, people don't see like, brothers doing design. When they see a graphic designer, they're seeing like a certain stereotypical nerdy guy. They're not seeing like I would say a masculine black man, like a more dominating looking black man, like because especially me, like I'm 6'4", just in case you didn't know. With shoes on, I'm like 6'5". So like I already don't even have the look of a designer anyway. But when I got that response, it was very discouraging. It was very discouraging to the point where I really debated on if I should even keep doing graphic design. Seriously, like I debated like, damn, should I even keep doing this? Like, because this field looks for a certain type of individual. And I just want to be realistic with people. I don't want to discourage you, but I do want to give you the honest, real deal of what goes on in this field, because I don't want this shit to surprise you. I don't want this to happen to you. Then you're like, damn, like I didn't learned all of this stuff. This has been my passion and I still can't get in the field. Like, yes, man, this is how this field goes. And this is just the honest reality. And I would rather tell y'all this so you don't experience this and you just shocked and blew out of your mind. And maybe one day it'll change. I'm gonna try to look at this and give it the benefit of the doubt and look at this in a more positive light. Maybe at some point in time it'll change. Maybe it won't always be like this. Maybe it won't always be to where people only look for a certain type of individual when it comes to design. And if you are a person that they consider to be urban or anything like that, they don't necessarily want you in the field. And that was something I experienced. And ever since then, I don't even apply. I don't even put myself in that position to even waste my time. Because I'm just telling y'all one incident. There has been a couple incidents where I just noticed like, yo, this field that I'm trying to get into, they're not really into a lot of that urban design shit and shit like that. They don't want that. A lot of these companies, they have a certain type of reputation for a certain type of individual when it comes down to the design. And that is the reality of graphic design. Now, I know some of y'all probably watch these videos. There's a channel on YouTube called The Future where they watch these videos about graphic design and all this money you can make. Oh, you can make $10,000 off one logo and shit like that. Come on, son. I'm telling you the real. Understand, I've been doing this almost 10 years, man. People ain't getting no $10,000 for no logo. I'm telling you the real. What I know. I'm not an amateur. I'm not somebody that's just making up numbers and just trying to discourage people. There aren't people making $10,000 off of logos. Don't play yourself like that. Don't even say that when a customer asks you for a logo. Actually, if you do say that you're charging $10,000, I don't want to stop you from having that type of mentality because that may work for you. No telling. I'm just telling you that if you start out charging $10,000 for a logo and you have no name, you are creating a recipe for disaster. Like if you're trying to gain customers and you're trying to get to a certain level, you don't want to be charging $10,000 when you first start out. Charging these high amounts Those are for people who are already kind of established and have names, and who are working for companies that already have names and things of that nature. That whole $10,000 for a logo conversation is just unrealistic, and I just don't want people to waste their time doing that. You're just gonna look stupid out here. I can show you. I can show you live because I get customers almost every day. I'm not some chicken shit designer. You know, like I said, I get customers all the fucking time. I just got a customer today. If I was to tell any of these customers that I'm charging $10,000, they'll be like, what are you even talking about? Like, are you serious right now? Like, bro, no designer is charging $10,000. And a lot of the designers that are at the top level, I know them. Even the ones where they charge $10,000, trust me, it comes with a lot of shit. They're either designing for like a very big company, and this design requires a lot. It's a lot of legal things behind this design. But if you're just creating just some design, bro, $10,000, come on, man. Let's be realistic. Let's not be dumb here. We know that that's not realistic. I'm not saying that can never happen for nobody. Let's not get that twisted. Anybody can get to the point where they're charging $10,000. I'm just letting you know, if you're a nobody with no name, you think you're going to run around here charging people $10,000, it's not going to happen. And if you are able to get people with that amount, yo, put me on game. Show me how you do it, because I've never seen it. And yeah, that's just the main reason why I wanted to tell y'all that is just because that's just the reality of this field. And this is a very discriminatory field. Discriminatory, is that a word? Am I just making up shit right now? But yeah, like the design game is something else. That's why I recommend people to do this as a hobby. Hold on one second. Is somebody at the door? Oh, I don't know. I thought I heard somebody at the door. That's why, like, a lot of times I usually recommend people, if you are getting into this field, make sure you're getting into this field and make sure this is something you really want to do. And I'm saying that because I'm saying that out of concern, and I'm just saying that as a person who really does this. Make sure this is something you want to do. Do not waste your time. This may not be your calling. Don't waste your time, and don't spend too much time doing this and then have some disappointing things happen. You really think you're getting somewhere when you're really going nowhere. And this message might hurt some people. It may hurt some people because you may come into this field, and really you coming into this field thinking to yourself, man, I'm going to be doing this design. I'm about to go to the design college and all that other type of shit. Man, understand, man, those design colleges are literally going to tell you the exact same shit that I'm showing you. And then you're going to be like, damn, I am now in debt for something that I just could have learned in like a couple hours. It's a dirty game out here, y'all. Right now, I'm still fighting with my college debt. And really, my college debt, I feel like, is the main reason why I have so many barriers in my life now. That college debt that college debt will hurt you, man. All of my young people who check out my videos understand that when you go to school for graphic design is always changing. Right now, we have this thing called AI art. And you see like a lot of designers online worried about this. You know why they're worried? Because they know that within these fields, especially in college and things of that nature, a lot of people are starting to figure out, this shit I'm doing in college may be fucking pointless. Because now that we're in this position where now this AI art is coming out, it's going to, if think about it, if you could an app to that, what the hell is the point of an app and they could just give it to you? App could just give it to you. Boom. There's no point of hope and pay all this money if you could app and they could just give it to you within. This is the point. And I think that's what I feel like people who want to do design should always think about. Think about that. You're getting ready to get into a field that is getting ready to change. So understand, know what you're doing. And if you do plan on being a designer, the way that I can keep you from being discouraged is try to learn as much as possible. As much as possible. Do not try to learn just a little bit and then just, run out the game. Try to learn as much as possible. I tell my other graphic designer homies that I even teach my methods. Don't just go by my methods. Go learn as much as you can learn, because this game is always changing. Always changing. Computers are taking over. All of this, even this shit that I'm showing y'all right now, within years, this shit could fall apart. They could create an app where it creates the cartoon characters, does the line work, it does the sketches. They may make a damn app where it actually creates sketches and shit for you, just based off the ideas you asked for. It's crazy. So make sure this is your passion and make sure this is something you want to do. So right now, if you just now checking in, this is J Damage. I'm just talking random shit right now. I'm just talking to you guys about this graphic design field, because a lot of people want to jump into this, but they don't understand what it really takes to be dealing with this type of field and the barriers you'll have to deal with once you get to a certain level. But right now where I'm at in this project is I'm doing the line work. I've already pretty much got the characters down packed. I'm just adjusting the lines to get the lines to a comfortable position where I feel like, okay, that looks good. And I know Arthur's hairline looks crazy, but I just decided to just keep it like that. Arthur ain't realistic looking anyway. We can make his shit all fucked up. His glasses ain't even up to his goddamn ears. So we can make Arthur look all raggedy. We want Arthur to look ignorant anyway in this design. So what we want to do is, once we get to this point, if you watch my previous videos, you already know what I'm about to say right now. So once you get to this point of your design, what you want to do is make sure all of your lines are the sizes that they need to be. A lot of times I make the outer lines thicker than the inner lines. That is natural cartoon code. If you know anybody who works on cartoons, they know this. You want to make your outer lines a little bit thicker than your inner lines when it comes down to cartoon illustration. So like as you can see, like even with his ski mask, I'm making a lot of those lines within the ski mask tiny and making these outer lines a lot thicker, just so people know the difference between these lines. So you can tell what kind of ski mask this is. I wanted this to be like a newer, I think they call that a baklava ski mask. I wanted this to kind of be like that, but at the same time, look like an older one. And I wanted Binky to wear the ski mask because he was a fucking asshole on the show. He was fake ass cool with everybody. 1 second he was cool. Next second he was on some bullshit. I knew a lot of Binkies growing up. A lot of these niggas that's super thugging, but in reality you scared just like everybody else. So let me get Baxter's eyes a little bit thicker, and then I think we're ready to get to the next step. Let's get him to 75. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with the line work. Let me check, make sure it's no questions. Okay, cool. I see no questions. Facebook, Trovo, let's make sure we are in the good graces. Tell your followers you are allowed. School, yo, shout out to everybody who is following me on Trovo. I want to make sure I acknowledge you. Shout out to Shadow Star Hockey. Shout out to you. Shout out to Gildan Warlock. Shout out to you. Shout out to, Vezde Idnat? Is that how you pronounce that? Yo, shout out to you. And shout out to everybody coming in, showing love. Right now, I'm in a co-stream with my guy Cookies, a.k.a. Hang Tulo, the number 2, L-O-W. Shout out to him for showing so much love and navigating me through Trovo, because I didn't really know how that worked. Yo, shout out to the few people on Twitch that's still watching and showing love. I appreciate you. And let's continue this thing. Let's go to the next step. So once you get your line work to this position to where you're comfortable, what you want to do is select the entire project. So grab your selection tool. That's the black mouse on the upper left hand corner of the screen. Select the whole thing. Boom. Once you select the whole thing, everything should be in color, just like how that looks right there. Once it's in that position, what you want to do is go to the very top menu bar. You won't be able to see this if you're watching me on the stream, but you'll be able to see this if you are actually in Illustrator. Go to the top of your screen and click on Object. Once you click on Object, click Group. Boom. Is it going to look like nothing happened? Don't worry about it. Go back to the top of the menu bar, click on Object. Boom. Once you click on Object, click Expand. Boom. Once you click Expand, a menu will pop up. Don't hit nothing, just hit OK. Boom. Once you hit OK, you'll see everything on the outline colored now. Instead of all the inner lines, now the outer lines are highlighted. Everything should be red. Okay, so boom. Once you got it like that, go to the right side of the screen. There's a toolbar right on the right side of the screen. You want to go to the very bottom button. That button is called the Pathfinder button. Click on that button. Boom. You won't be able to see this if you're on the Illustrator. So once you get into that menu, go to the bottom left hand corner of the Pathfinder menu and click on Divide. Boom. Once you click on Divide, it's going to look like nothing happened, but please do not worry, because something did happen. Something magical happened, which means all of your lines have now divided from each other. So click off of everything. Once you click off of everything, nothing is no longer highlighted. I want you to click on the white selection tool. If you hover your mouse over it, it's called the direct selection tool. What I want you to start doing now is start getting rid of all of these access lines that we do not need. What you want to do is hold Shift and start clicking on all those lines that we don't need. Click as many as possible. You see that? I'm holding Shift. Do not let go of Shift as you're doing this. Do not let go of Shift. Let's get rid of those because we want the bandana over that. Get rid of those. Boom. Boom. Once you feel like you've clicked enough lines in your project, now what you want to start doing is just start hitting delete. Let go of Shift, and now let's just start hitting delete. So everything is gone. You see that? Let's go back into the project. Let's start selecting the lines that we don't need. Just delete them. That's all we're doing. Going in, deleting, deleting. You can either select a lot of them at a time, or you can select one at a time. Whatever you feel like you got to do. I do both. Sometimes I'm selecting a whole bunch of them. Sometimes I'm just collecting one. My laptop keep becoming loose on this fan I got it sitting on. This cooling pad is not set in stone. I feel like I might have to put some Velcro tape under it just to hold it still so it can stop wobbling. See, all we doing, getting rid of those access lines. Try to click as many as possible so we can go through faster. You want to move quickly when you're working with a customer, or if you're working with a company. Matter of fact, especially if you're working with a company. If you're working with a company, you want to be moving quickly. Quickly. A lot of times, I wouldn't recommend this this method. Once you finally get to working with a company or whatever, of course, you'll probably be way more advanced to where you'll be using a different method to create designs. You'll probably be on a graphics tablet. But you want to be moving quickly every time you're working on a project, because a lot of times people pay more to designers who get things done quickly. A lot of times when you're slow as a designer, trust me, they ain't gonna pay you. That's just the reality. Let's get rid of that. Boom. Matter of fact, no, let's not do that. Let's make that smaller. Let's get rid of these lines. Get real personal. Boom. Sometimes you gotta get surgical with these lines. I messed up on that. So what you wanna do, when you wanna get surgical, grab your curvature tool, start deleting those anchor points. Make sure you get it to where you need it to look. And let me adjust that. And boom, that should be perfect. In fact, let's make that out. Zoom in real close. Let's move that a little bit closer. And boom, now we're perfect. So just in case you mess up on your lines, that's all you gotta do. Get in there and get surgical. Do whatever you gotta do to make sure your project is perfect. I don't care if it take you days to get this shit done. Make sure before you present this to anybody Any customer, any company, anybody that you're working with, make sure before you send out any project, make sure you are sure about what you're creating. Make sure you sure that you done. Do not be creating any projects and half-assing them and then sending them to people, because you never know what project that you work on that may take off. You never know. It happened to me before. Half-ass worked on a project one time. I'm not even gonna say what project it was, but let's just say it was for a celebrity. I didn't think, the celebrity kind of wasn't relevant at that time, so I'm like, ain't nobody gonna see this shit. I ain't gonna go too crazy on this project. And man, why this motherfucker had the nerve to go viral? This motherfucker had the nerve to go viral when I want to bullshit around. Now I got my shitty project up there. People still liked it, but I didn't like it, because I knew deep down I didn't do that shit right. So don't half-ass your projects, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't do that. You do not want to end up like me, looking dumb as hell. And let's just say it was on an award show. It was bad. It was bad, but people didn't give a fuck. So I shouldn't even be tripping about it, but still. I feel like I could have did way better. I could have did a design that was so impactful. But that's what happens. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do a video on. I think I'm gonna do a video on how to get a celebrity customer. A lot of people don't know how to do that, but it's a lot easier than what a lot of y'all think. A lot of y'all may feel like, oh man, it's hard to get to a rapper. It's hard to work with a famous singer. It's actually not that hard. If you got the skills, you could do it. Matter of fact, based off what I seen, you ain't gotta have skills. Really, you can get in the door if you just look good. That's a secret they won't tell you. Really, all you gotta do is look good and your designs be passable. You can get close to a celebrity. These celebrities, regular people just like me and you. As you can see right now, I'm just getting rid of all those access lines. All of those access lines. Let's get real close up in there. I'm going to try to turn down the gain on my microphone because I feel like I'm catching too much background noise. I'm hearing all these cars zooming past my crib. I live right next to like a bunch of cars flying past, and I don't want people to hear that in my footage. Let me see if I can turn this down. Let's see. Is it getting lower? We lower. Let me see. Why is that's what's going on. My camera is turning. Oh shit. My camera is turning. You can't even see that I got a mic right here in front of me. Let me see. Why is my mic not? Because my mic is right here. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's try to keep it like that. All right. So let's continue. So my apologies, y'all. I had to make some adjustments. For some reason, is cars going past, and these shit's loud as hell, man. I can hear the goddamn car in my headphones. I just don't want myself to be too low when I'm talking. Like, you can still hear them going past. I can still hear that shit in my headphones. The next stream, I'm gonna make sure that I get my settings right, so y'all ain't gotta hear that. Actually, you won't be hearing that because I'm moving. Fuck all that. I'm moving soon anyway. I ain't being around none of this nigga shit. I'm moving. I'm moving away. Far away. And I ain't telling you where I'm moving to. I ain't got to be around this shit no more. I don't think I ever had this much people come past my house when I'm on stream. All right, let's go. Boom. So right now, if you notice, all I'm doing is just getting rid of all the access lines. And I think I've got rid of everything. Let me check. What you want to do is once you feel like you've gotten to the end of getting rid of all those access lines, you want to be zooming into your project and making sure that you're not forgetting nothing. So, you know, zoom all the way deep in there. Zoom all the way deep in there. Make sure you ain't forgetting nothing. Make sure it's nothing you forgetting. I like to take my time and just look. Make sure I'm not forgetting nothing. Zoom all the way in if you got to. Okay, I think we good. So what you want to do once you get inside, once you get to this point of your project, hold on, let me turn my volume up. Once you get to this point of your project, what you want to do is go ahead and select the entire project. Do the exact same thing we did as last time. Click your black selection tool, select the entire project. Boom. See, I just selected that. Once you select the entire project, what I want you to do is go to the top of your screen, click on Object, then scroll down to Live Paint. Once you get to Live Paint, click on Make. Boom. It's going to look like nothing happened. Do not worry. Remember, if you are watching me on the stream, you won't be seeing these menu buttons that I'm clicking on. But if you are on Adobe Illustrator, you can just follow along and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Once you get that, once you click that live paint, it's going to look like nothing happened. What I want you to do now is look on your left side toolbar. There is a button on the very bottom left-hand corner of the tools. If you hover your mouse over it, it says Live Paint Bucket Tool. I want you to click on that. Once you click on that, what you want to start doing, the very first thing that I always start doing is start filling in all the black colors. So what you want to do is double click on the box right under that live paint tool. Double click on that box and choose whatever color you want to choose. So I'm choosing black, so then hit OK. Once you click OK, let's go ahead and start filling in those blacks of everything. As you know, most things that are black are always the dots in the eyes, always the eyebrows, always the inside of the mouth, and things of that nature, or whatever else just needs to be black within your project. So what I want you to do is just hover over each part and just color in everything that needs to be colored. Now, mind you, all I said what we'll be doing today is just the outline of the character, and we'll be doing the basic color. So we're not going to be doing anything super serious today. We're only doing the outlines and the basic colors. So let's bring back up the picture. Boom. So this is the original pictures of the characters. Let's double click on that first layer, and you see how we put dim images to 30%. What you want to do is take that up to 99. Now click OK. Now we can see the actual colors of the original images. What you want to do is click now. What I want you to do is click on something called the eyedropper tool. Go to the left side toolbar. On the left side toolbar, on the right side of the toolbar, I want you to scroll down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th button from the right side of the left side toolbar. Click on that. If you hover your mouse over it, it says eyedropper tool. So what you want to do is if you want to get colors from anything, let's say you had some colors online, or if you're working on a character, you wanted to get the original colors of the character, all you have to do is click this eyedropper tool and then click wherever you want to get the colors from. So I want to get the colors out of Arthur's face. So I just want to click on his face. Do not worry about it, just color it right in. And you basically the whole entire thing, which is great, is part of the project. These colors and just coloring them in. I forgot. I wanted his hair to be black, so let's make that black. All you want to do is if you want to get those colors, you could either double click. Remember, like I said, double click on that closed box right under the live paint bucket tool and choose your color. Or what you can do is use the eyedropper and choose the colors from the older project. I'm using his original colors, so I'm using the eyedropper. So let's get the glasses, which is that dark brown. Let's color that in. Boom. Actually, I'm gonna make the colors behind that a little bit darker, just to get the shadow effect of the glasses. Goddamn cars, man. Man, I gotta move up out of here. Let's get the front glasses. Boom. Fill all that in. Do not worry about those whites. Just fill them in. As you can see, it's starting to look more and more like him. Okay, now we got that filled in. Let's keep looking at Arthur. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's get the inside of his ears, which I believe is pink. Let's get that exact pink. Now understand, you do not have to use the eyedropper. You can choose your own colors. I'm just doing this solely so I can have his original colors within that. So his bandana, we'll make that yellow since his shirt is yellow. Let's grab the color from his shirt. Let's make that bandana yellow. Boom, 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 boom. Let's color that in. Get everything. Let's get that gangsta Arthur. Okay, we have Arthur. I believe the inside of his eye is just white. And it's nothing. Yeah, it's just white. It's nothing serious. So far we have Arthur done. We are done. Uh-oh. That white don't look white to me. You know, it ain't white. It's off-white. Let's get white. White. Okay, so we got Arthur done. Now let's go to his, I believe his best friend, Baxter. I think his name is Baxter. I might be saying this shit wrong. If I'm saying this shit wrong, y'all correct me in the goddamn comment section. Now remember, he's like an off-white. He's not, he's isn't straight up white because he's a bunny. All right, let's get the bunny put together. Okay, boom. Zoom in. Make sure you're zooming in and getting those right colors. This was the inside of his ears. Yeah, his inside of his ears was pink also. Let's get that. You see, all we doing is eyedropper and getting the colors. Eyedropper, getting the colors. We're just getting the colors close to the original. Now we're gonna make his bandana the color of his shirt, which is that what do we call that color? That's more like a teal. Is that a teal? Let's call it teal. Let's get that teal color in here. First Game Boy I ever had was teal. I had a teal Game Boy. I used to, man, y'all boys just don't know, nigga. I used to be on that Game Boy hard. Nigga, I was in the middle of the hood playing with that shit. A nigga tried to rob me for it when I was a kid. For real, for real. Let's make his eyes red. This nigga just look like his eyes should be red for some reason. Let's make his eyes red. Make him look like he's stressing. Let's make his let's make the color for under his eyes. Let's make it like that. Boom. Let's get his original color for his skin. I don't know what the fuck Binky was supposed to be. Was this thing supposed to be a dog or something? It's a strange looking. I think he's supposed to be like a bulldog or some shit. He was weird looking. Let's get this. Let's get this man's done with. I don't know why I got this man's looking so evil. But I was just sketching, man. I just be, you know, sometimes when I'm sketching, I just be throwing shit together. I don't even be thinking. Yo. I just told my kids to go to bed. I don't know what they're running around for. Okay, before we continue, let me, because we almost done. Let me check and make sure nobody said nothing. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm trying to play you. Yo, shout out to my guy, Trappenstein. My guy, Trappenstein. I see you pressing that, coming in with the love. I appreciate you, bro. Yo, shout out to everybody on Trovo. Lord Jesus, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all coming in, showing love today. Shout out to, what's that? NOSXOPE _ Shout out to whoever that is. I appreciate you coming in. Even if you ain't staying, I just appreciate you coming in, showing love. Shout out to what the long, but you know, just come in and tab it out. You know what I mean? So what we gonna do? I don't see no questions. Real quick, make sure nobody's. I don't see out. Basically, if you just now, we are at the end where all I'm doing is adding color. We have line work. Now we at the end, we just adding color to the final project. We already did all the color. already did all my talking. So if it's now coming in, you done missed doing my final coloring right before I get up out of here, y'all. So all I'm doing is I'm coloring with the bucket tool. If you've been following this tutorial, you already seen we did line work. We joined. We click object, and then we live paint, and that's how right now. So now that we got the live paint popping, Mr. Binky Barnes right here. Binky Barnes, we got him looking evil and dirty, looking like he'll break in your food or some. We on with this brother, and then I would definitely be back on tomorrow. Probably I don't know, like I'll do 2 streams around like noon and at 7 p.m. But it's just really up to my mood and whatever I got going. And then we're gonna get up out of here. Now, if you ever get to this point, mask, working on a ski mask and make sure you have those thin lines in there. Ski mask, do not make the ski mask black. Even if that was your intention, do not make the ski mask black. A lot of times if you make the ski mask black, then that will mess up, when you start putting it, it's gonna make the color inside of it look visible. So what you want to do is double click on the color box, and then on the color box, what I want you to black up just a little bit to looks gray. Drag it up to where it looks gray, and then press OK. So then once you start putting dark and it looks like it's black, as you can see, you can see the lines within the inside. It still has that look, still has that pop. Because let's say on a logo design, and you're working on a logo design where somebody ski mask or hat or anything that is supposed to be black, never make it solid black. If you make it black, you will ruin this. Once they get to the point of printing this, they won't be able to not use a solid black. I've seen this happen to people, and a couple things that people is let's all the way in. I'm gonna show y'all what we do to make sure everything is. I might have missed something, so let's zoom all the way out. Arthur, Baxter, and Binky. Matter of fact, I'm real quick. I want to be calling. Let's put Arthur's best friend, Buster Baxter. Oh, so now that we have gotten to the end of this project, well, we got. This is what I do. You don't have this if you don't want to. This is just something. So once I get to a project and I start coloring it, maybe I may have colored it, but I may miss some colors and don't want to have holes. You actually get to the. They are definitely gonna see it. Not want to go for like a big time business. Actually get to the point of print, and they. So I put it right behind that I created and whatnot. Then I just like much on point. I didn't miss nothing. Close. Next to back to bus. You could who have designed and miss something. correct this just in case this happens. So now that we good, go ahead and erase the layer that shadow sketches. You grabbed you some colors and boom, you are now at the final end of your project. How do you feel right now? You should feel proud of yourself. You could sell this. Bet you didn't even know that. You could sell this. If you have a customer or you trying to potentially get some customers, you can make some designs like this, you know, display them on whatever social media you got and let them know, hey, I'm creating cartoons. And you wouldn't be lying. You're not going to be scamming like these people on Instagram and all that other shit. You'll be doing some legit cartoons for people and they will be legit satisfied and you will be satisfied getting paid to do your thing. I am J Damage, the graphic designer, videographer, and all of these other great things. But tonight I just showed you how to create some cartoon characters on Adobe Illustrator. If you want to follow this video, it's okay. If you're just now jumping in or you jumping in this live at the very last second or at any second, all you have to do if you want to follow these tutorials from beginning to end, what you want to do is follow me on all of my social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, and YouTube. All you have to do is search J Damage, Jaydamage, or search The Real J Damage, DAREAL, That's how you find me. So I appreciate you guys for checking me out. It looks like I'm talking to Illustrator right now. I'm actually talking on my mic just to show you. So I appreciate everybody for checking this out. Y'all have a good night or a good day if you're watching this video later. And I will be back on tomorrow to show y'all some more cool shit. I'm out of here. Peace out. All right.